All right, guys. So it's pretty late right now, about 1:04 a.m. and I'm gonna bust this out because it's an awesome one. And there's a lot of different steps, but what we're gonna do essentially is we are going to copy a package that we want to install on this other computer over to the other computer. We're going to SSH into that other computer and remote into it. Then we're going to install that package. Then we're going to collect some diagnostics, the diagnostics that Apple would collect if they were doing some troubleshooting on your system, so you can basically look at all the different logs and everything to see all the information. And then we are going to record the screen of the computer for 20 seconds, save it into a file, zip it all up, secure copy it back to this computer here, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. So get your geek hat on and get ready to geek out and write down these commands, because you're gonna be loving this stuff. All right, how to actually set up being able to remote log in to another Mac. So on that other Mac, this is what I've done. So I open up System Preferences. We're going to go into Sharing, and we need to enable Remote Logon or Remote Login. So once I do that, then from the computer that I am attempting to connect into, the one that I set up over here, right, my computer, when I log into that device, I'm going to actually be using SSH Mac Guy at 192.168.1.18 is the address of this computer over here. So once I've turned on Remote Logon, now I'm able to SSH into that device. So now I want to open up a terminal session. I'm going to use Spotlight, Command Spacebar. Come on now. Command plus to blow that thing up. Alright, the first thing I want to do is I want to copy this package, Snap Camera. It's an installer. I want to install it on this other computer, so I want to copy it over there. I'm just going to drag that onto the window. While I'm in the window, Control A to go back to the beginning, SCP for secure copy, Control E to go all the way back to the end. And this is where I need to define the computer that I'm going to send it to, and that's going to go to MacGuy at 192.168.1.18. Then I'm going to do a :/users/shared and a slash, and I'm going to hit return. It's going to ask me for the password. If I could type. And then you're going to see that package is now being copied over to that other computer. It'll be sitting in the users shared folder, right? So once this is complete, and really I don't even need to wait, but I could open up another terminal window and started my SSH session in. So now I'm going to SSH into that computer, and I'm going to do SSH MacGuy at, and I can even just copy the, well, I don't need to, 168.1.18, hit return. if I could not type in passwords, I swear. I need to not make them so dang complex. And when you're not good at typing, that's just the way it is. Alright, so as you can see, now I'm actually logged into this device. I'm over on this Mac guy's MacBook Air, and I'm on this device, and I'm going to basically gather some information on this device. First, I'm going to install the package that I wanted to. So I'm going to do a sudo, because it's going to require elevated privileges, installer -pkg, and then we're going to do the path to that package, users shared. I can just hit snap. Alright, and then I'm going to tell it where, so I need to do -target and just the whack for root volume. Oh man, this darn password is gonna get me again, isn't it? Oh, I got it finally. Alright guys, so now that I've got the snap camera installed, I want to make a folder so that I can store all this information I'm going to gather with these next couple of commands and the screen recording. So I'm going to do a make dir, and I'm going to store that in private temp. And the reason I'm going to store it there is just because when it gets the Mac gets rebooted, it'll get removed out of there, and I'll have already copied it over to my other device, so I ain't even got to worry about removing it if I don't want to. It'll get removed automatically. Alright, so I'm going to do a make dir, and I'm going to put it in private temp, and I'm going to label it data capture, and we're going to store everything into it. Alright, so we're going to make that guy, and then we're going to do a quick Sysdiagnose. And what a Sysdiagnose is what Apple runs when they ask you to send them a bunch of information so they can troubleshoot their ticket for you, or whatever kind of problem you might be having. Just gives you a ton of information, and it's something you should know how to run and kind of check out and see. It gives you good, valuable information into your system. So we're going to run a Sysdiagnose, and we are going to do a option -F, and we're going to say that we want it to go onto the desktop. And then I'm going to do a -A, and I'm going to say that we're going to call this MB Air Capture, and hit return. Oh, this is a good opportunity to show you another ninja trick. Alright, so it says Sysdiagnose must be run as root. So you can just type in sudo 2 exclamation points, hit return, and what that'll do is it does sudo with the last command that I tried to run, and I didn't run it correctly, so that'll help you a little bit. Enter the password, and it's going to say, hey, are you sure you want to run all this? If so, hit enter. And I'm going to hit enter. And this thing's going to run for a while, so I'm going to probably fast forward the video a little bit. Alright, so it wrapped up. It made this file. It put it on the desktop of Mac Guy. And I don't know why I put it on the desktop, but when I wanted to put it in that other folder, that's okay. We'll move it. So we're going to take this guy and copy that, Do a MV. We are going to move that into the folder that we had created up above called data capture. So I'm just going to use the move command and move that guy up there. And to verify that it did in fact move, you can copy that, private temp data capture, do an ls, and verify. Yes, MB air capture is there. So now that we've got a Sysdiagnose, we want to do a screen recording because we want to see what's on the screen of this remote computer that I just ran this package on. I have no idea what's up on the screen right now. Well, actually I do because the computer's right there, but I'm showing you how to get a screen recording without being at it. So we're going to do another command called screen capture and minus capital V, and really all I need is a couple seconds. I could say 5 seconds of video. I want to store it in private temp data capture, and I want to call it screen recording .mov. Alright, so once I do this, actually it won't work because I need to use sudo, so I'm going to probably have to do that again. Oh, nope, it did work. Alright, so it just recorded the screen for us. So now we've got a file. If we arrow back up and to that private temp data capture folder, now we're going to see we've got two things in there. We've got a screen recording and we've got a Sysdiagnose file. And now that I've got the two things that I wanted to grab from this device, I mean, this is a lot of data actually, but it's kind of nice. You could do, and if I just wanted to do static screenshots, all I got to do is arrow up, change the name to screenshot.png, PNG. Let's get rid of the -v and the 5, and this will just do a screen capture, and we can go see that now we have a screenshot and a screen recording. One thing to note, that the screen recording aspect came out in Mojave 10.14. Before Mojave, screen capture, actually you can do the screenshots right from the command line. Screen recording in Catalina 10.15 gets a little bit trickier because the security of the privacy controls are kind of controlling it. And check the SSH keygen item that's in there and check that so that it's enabled. I got a screenshot that I'm gonna have here, and make sure that that's enabled. That will not get triggered until you've done this the first time. So the first time you run a screen capture from an SSH session on a Catalina system, it will fail. And you have to go onto that Catalina system, go into that privacy and preference pane, security and privacy pane, and enable that SSH keygen item. And so that's just things you're gonna have to note to make sure to do. All right, so now that I've got these items that I want to have, and actually now we just have to zip it up. Zip it up and secure copy that stuff back to us. Alright, so we know the folder, so we're basically just going to zip this up, and it is super easy. Zip -R, and I need to basically say a name and directory of where I want this thing stored. So I want it stored in private temp, and I just want it labeled data capture .zip. So that's what I want it labeled, and the folder that I want to use is the data capture folder. I'm just going to copy and paste, stretch that out a little bit actually. Okay, and now I'm just going to hit return. You're going to see that it added the items to it, and now if we do an ls -la on private temp, we now have a data capture .zip file on that device. We want to bring that guy back over to this device here. This is my IP address that I want to use to copy from this device over here. So I'm going to do secure copy, and I want to take that private temp data capture .zip, and I want to bring it on over to Mac Lady device at 192.168.1.14/users/shared, and that looks good. Let me just stretch it out a little bit. Say yes. Then I gotta type in the password. Alright. Now I'm getting that. I just got that file back. Alright, now that we're done with that computer, we really don't need it, so I just type exit to close out the SSH connection, and now I'm back on my computer. Now I know that that folder is in the user shared, that zip folder, the data capture that I just grabbed. Now I want to unzip it. So I'm going to do unzip, and I am going to point to the file, and that's in users shared and data capture, and then I am going to type in -d and the directory that I want it to put it in, and I want to drop it right on my desktop. I want to get that stuff right on my desktop. So see how it's private temp and then the data capture folder. Okay, so the reason this happened is because when I created the zip folder, when I ran that zip command, I did not cd into the folder private temp and run it from there. If I had run it from there, so you just type in cd space private temp and then run the zip command from within that folder on that file that's in there, I wouldn't have gotten the whole chain of folders. I wouldn't have seen the private temp data capture. Does that make sense? Alright, so now that you see this data capture, or all this stuff. Let me just open up the screen recording. Oh man, look at that. So Snap, which I had installed on that other computer, I couldn't see what it had done, but it's asking for access because it's a Catalina system, 10.15, and it's got those privacy controls, right? So that I would have to enter on the device itself and clicking OK. Otherwise, I would have to have some other means to approve it. But there you can see. And so I took a screenshot. Oh, you can't. Sorry, you can't really see it. But that's the video. And as you can see, I can play it. And I can record as much time as I want. And then I also took a screenshot, right? So they're all there. And then we took a Sysdiagnose, and that was the big one. So if I double click this, it opens it up. I have a list of information about this computer. So I can look at everything. Disk util, all the different command volumes that are on that system. You want to see all that information? You can see everything. Because a Sysdiagnose runs a ton of stuff, and that's what I'm going to show you next. Is if you scroll all the way down within this Sysdiagnose, you're going to see a sysdiagnose.log. This, my friends, is the gold, right? If you look in here, you're gonna see all of the commands that they run. So if you want to take an afternoon, bust this thing open, start checking out all these commands that they're running, right? And it is awesome. This is how you get good at doing this. You know what I mean? Is busting this stuff open, seeing what Apple and all these people are doing that are out in the industry, and just doing it. Doing it and doing it and doing it. So check that out. And that really sums up this lesson. I mean, that thing was kind of long, man. Alright, so we got this done. I hope you liked the video. Please hit that like button if you like it. Hopefully you're subscribed to the channel, and I get to share something awesome with you next week. You guys have a great week, and take care. Bye.